Detonate claimed their own map pick, 16-12, Iron Blood now on their own pick of choice. It is the 51st floor of Vertigo, and they're all ready to run towards ramp. Boggs and Pineapple Phillips here on the call. An aggressive peek by Cryptic, but he does not overstay his welcome. Utility flooding forward towards side hall, sandbags as well. A flank already initiated by Detonate as well. All into the site are Iron Blood Retake Simulator 2022. Vertigo, bomb down, Michael got an opening, and Brett up close and personal. Freshie trades him out, and the kills are going back and forth in the favor of Detonate as IBG gets caught on the flank. Micro all the way up the ramp, Freshie with one more, all down to Dare, and does he dare to believe he's got the first? Swaps to the USP, looking for the next headshot, tapping away, looking for the next. Do they split? Do they go together? They've swung the right side, and they cannot find the kill. 3 HP to a knife kill for Micro, and the defuse as well. Micro styles with a hat trick and a flourish, and Detonate have claimed the pistol.
That wasn't what I was expecting. We did say, we said in the green room before even this whole best of 3 started, we were going to expect some what is going on moments, and that was a what is going on moment. If I was casting that moment, if you weren't talking, I would have said what is going on. I would have given up on trying to cast that moment. There was nothing going on. It was chaos, pandemonium, 3 kills with that knife flourish as you mentioned. Micro had $6,000 in the bank at the end of that round. He has got an M4, full utility, helmet, everything he could desire in this one. Iron Blood, though, they got the bomb plant. They're going to go for a buy of their own. It's Galil's across the board. They're going to lack in utility. Jordan has a smoke, flash, Molotov, but other than that, there's nothing spoken of, and that means it's going to have to be a win via from Austin middle. Interesting off angle coming in from Florence, but he's blinded and bagged as well. That is not the start you want if you're a Detonate fan. Advantage secured. Sure, a little bit of damage done, but Iron Blood, they're in the driver's seat for this one.
That was, yeah, I'll go with interesting. I'll piggyback off of that. That was bizarre. That was also a what is going on moment, Nate.
I like the angle, but only if there's a smoke in front of you. Yeah, if you're banking on a smoke to be thrown in front of you from your opponents, then you're in a losing situation.
Yeah, don't expect your opponents to do something, because that's just relying on something you have no control over. And it gives the advantage over to Iron Blood. I'm also surprised Micro didn't get the op for Florence. I think on Vertigo, getting the op out early would be a very good decision, especially knowing that Iron Blood are going to push here. In comes the play towards side hall, though. Shane has mowed down Cryptic. No trades back. Micro, hero of the last round, trying to do it all on site behind the smoke and the stack. Goes him over top, but he only gets one. That is not enough. Brett and Freshie might even think twice about the retake here. Brett spots the player sandbags, but he turns the wrong direction. He does get one. Knows there's a guy sandbags inside hall he expects. Nice timing there from Snav. And Freshie will inspect the stiletto knife. Go back to the M4 and try and save that early pick from onto Florence. Snowballs into a round for Iron Blood, and they're already out of the gate early on their T side.
I like the little setup there from Detonate, I must say. Later on the boost, spotting for information. You know, he caught with the Molotov, but the more important factor was the swing and response from the lobby. Just unfortunate that they're immediately headshot. The Galil just wins that duel in that specific situation, and that's what really unravels around from there. Micro, had he dropped the bomb planter and bought some more time falling away, perhaps it could have been a different story, but again, we're just talking hypotheticals at this point. What happened was an Iron Blood round 2 to clap back after their pistol round lost, and now Detonate are going to traverse some similarly hazardous waters. That was a lot to say. It's going to be an investment from them. Pistols, Deagle, 5.7, at 1 saved M4 and Freshie, we mentioned before, and a Mag 7 with an MP9 to round it out. Freshie, aggressive with the rifle, and this is very scary. He's been tagged down. He's going to try and just crouch forward, but they know he's here. The Molotov will force him to throw the smoke, and 21 HP, what can he do?
He's dodging bullets, so that's a good thing. That's one of the things you need to do when you're low HP. He's also got to be careful not to fall off the edge of the map. But if Freshie could even get one more kill from this position, it gives Detonate a winnable scenario. It gives them a foundation to build a win, and Snav has to be careful too. He's just made a lot of noise. Trying to bait in the push. Launch goes out wide. There's a Mag 7 on ramp, but Florence wins that without losing the fight. Shane, though, quick on the trigger, ready for it, and expects Brett up on top of the banger wall. He gets taken down, and what was an opportunity for Detonate has gone awry. The bomb will go down on the B site for free. No contestation at all from Detonate. The rotations are coming through, but there's no kid, so 10-second defuse does really impact their chance of winning the round. At this point, I think the CT side is just going to go for damage or save what they have and try again in the next round.
Damage is probably the name of the game at this stage. They're running in. The Mag 7 trying to get close. He has to try his darndest. Shane anymore finds one, a second on the fourth. And Micro out of the clutch. He finds two. Pre-fires for the third, but the bullets just don't land. The RNG does not go his way. Droid wins the clutch. And Ironblood do string 2 in a row. That is the most important caveat here. They send Detonate packing. They send Detonate to the pistols. And Ironblood now have a big opportunity to equalize their economy and begin to build a bank as well.
That's a good start on their T side. That's what they need to do. Now, Detonate, they don't have a very good record on the CT side of things on this map of Vertigo. 35.4% is their win rate in the blue. That is not good, especially considering the fact that this is a CT-setted map. Well, I mean, what map isn't CT-setted at this point? It's a more defender-sided map here. Snap it, all go down 2. Droid will come in for the next. Maybe one right here, if that. Nope. Headshot from Shane. Nice third round on the board from Ironblood. No fuss about that. But Detonate, if they cannot get at least 6 rounds out of this half, Nate, I think their chances of being able to take this map are pretty much 0.
Yeah. Pressure already beginning to mount at this stage. Ironblood, it's a strange amalgamation. They're going to stick with that in Mac 10 on Snav, but the economy is fairly good, all things considered. Detonate, rather solid buy as well. No helmets across the board. Could be a factor against the likes of Snav, we'll have to see. There are 3 A4s as well to speak of, so with the meta. Cryptic, though, one of those A1S users. Doesn't win the first duel. In fact, does a little bit of damage before falling away. Detonate. Early stack towards Zane, but they're already falling back towards more of a default. Dare, though, daring to go up towards the side hall, finds one. That's a nice clean opening on the side. So now Cryptic has a lot to do. He'll just walk into it. That's a second right into the open and waiting on from Dare. One third as well. Can he get the kill? No, but Shane will instead. It's a complete unraveling of the defense, and Ironblood clean entries and now a clean take. That leaves 2 remaining, Freshie and Brett. Can't really do much of anything here. They should be saving their rifles for the following, but will they even be allowed to? That's the question. Brett's already spotted, stuck between a rock and a hard place. He won't even survive. The Mac 10 is a factor as it domes him away and out of the round. Just Freshie. And he finds nothing either. Droid wins the duel outright. Ironblood, they were slow on map 1. They're quick, indecisive on map 2.
This is more or less the Ironblood that we've come to expect in North America. Quick, decisive, hitting headshots. That's when they're on their form. It's when they're playing their game. They're very fast. They're not second-guessing themselves. And they don't really need to because everything they shoot hits. So for Ironblood, things are starting to look up here on their own map pick. Ancient is a map 3 as well, is a very interesting choice, as neither team is particularly good on it. So I think if we do go the full distance to that third map, it's going to be a very interesting decider. Both teams now, at the very least, early on, looking to take their own map picks. Ironblood with another opening kill. This time it's Dare up on B. The lone defender is Brett, and he has been removed. But it's not going to scale forward anything just yet from the Ironblood side. They know that they aren't on the best of buys, so they're playing a little more slow and methodical, not trying to run into a stack. Freshie goes 1-for-1 with Micro. Grabs an AK, probably will try and save that into the next round. Bomb will go down. Florence now, the last man who could really attempt to retake as Cryptic hits the deck. Maybe one more upgrade if they go hunting for it, but Ironblood, no real need to go for the kills here. Just how greedy do they want to be? That's the big question.
Probably shouldn't be too much at this point. You have the extra money if needed, but one rifle in the hands of a team that's going to be buying anyway, not that important. Even if it is an AK. InTra drops Florence. He had no reason to save, only a 5.7 in hand. Would expect that he would go for some sort of hero play there. But to no avail. Ironblood is going to save their rifles for the following. That is the expected call. Freshie will be given some respite here. He'll be allowed to save the AK. That will give the CT side a little bit of extra cash to go for utility, but they were going to have more than enough to do so anyway. Not too big of a deal if he saves the AK here and detonate another chance to try and build some CT rounds here, but Ironblood have looked to be by far the better squad thus far.
They have. And this is more what I would have expected to see on Inferno, too. Probably not to this degree of domination, but something similar. Ironblood individually should have the better players. And I think now that they're on a map which is a lot less comfortable for most teams, it's starting to become clear that they are on a different level. They know the map well, they're doing good, but this round gets a little haywire. Cryptic and freshie get 2, Snav only getting 1, and he has gone to turn. Shane getting harassed by utility, forced down to 57 HP and down the ramp. No trades coming back from Ironblood just yet. They are down a man, Detonate in a pole position to grab a second round on the board. But so far, the only round they have was by virtue of the pistol and Micro with the 3K and the knife. All 3 remaining Ironblood players, though, ready to go in towards the A site all the way up the ramp. They have a lot of time to work with. They do not need to commit. But as we saw on Inferno, Ironblood don't really like to go the other direction all too much. Once they have it in their mind, they commit, they go all in. And Shane's got a molly prepped and ready to go. Oh, that's big from Freshie. That's huge from Freshie to get that second.
Aggressive in the envelope on 1, a second on the swing as well. No aim on the clip. He'll go for the peak. Shane finds 1, but then he'll be done. Micro, a nice quick trade from him, and Detonate on the board with a second relatively clean one as well, with 3 players surviving, including the op on Florence, important to note. But was that one round of flash in the pan, or can they string up more than one together? Ironblood, their economy is still quite strong. They've won several rounds convincingly in a row at this point. In fact, that was 5 before they finally got stymied, and so no problem investing into this round. Probably the following as well, and they get the bomb plant and other caveats, maybe even after that. So Detonate, their work has been cut out.
A little bit of chip damage on the intro, and a little more. Making a 3rd nade, and intro down to 3/4 HP. 3 nades for 25 damage. That is not a great return on investment for Detonate, but hey, it's better than nothing, right? It does at least make one player one dinkable with the M4. Slow and methodical round from Ironblood, though, clearing out towards middle. A little shaken, perhaps, by the last round, not wanting to run into that again. Micro, much more passive here. Tosses in the flash, just holding for the repeak. But a lot of time has ticked down and no real face has been shown. And there's a lot of Molotovs left for Detonate. 4 flames to completely kill a rush. It's going to be an A flank. It's going to be an A split. 2 through middle. The smoke is going to completely tell us that. Micro's going to have the call, but it doesn't matter if he gets domed. Now the Detonate defense is split. Cryptic's into the open, blind and done. Intra's mowed down Freshie in the meantime. The flames will not deter Ironblood. They will not melt. The bomb will go down. It's going to be a 6th, as I don't think Florence and Brett want anything to do with this retake.
No chance. Not with Florence on the op. Economy for the CT side is still a touch-and-go situation. If they are both able to save, might see a rifle dropped from either party. Cryptic and Freshie to give them the opportunity to invest, but it's going to be by the slimmest of margins. It's going to be a desperate investment in the following, and Ironblood know that. Ironblood know if they can drop a rifle, it will be disastrous for the CT side, so they want to do so. Snav cautiously exiting, as is Shane. Will they clear the ladder? No, they won't. It looks like Brett will be passed up, will be allowed to live. Florence on this B site, I don't think there's anybody close either. It's just going to be a clean exit for Ironblood. I say that Shane find something if time is on his side. It's not. He's not going to find the kill. So both players are allowed to survive. Detonate. This is a good time to call a pause. They're on that cusp of a bias I mentioned before. So they could try to figure something out.
It feels like Detonate just lack a lot of cohesion on this map. Their CT side doesn't look too well structured, and it doesn't look like they're very comfortable with the timings and the positionings of Vertigo. And it's understandable. Not every team is going to like this map. It's very much like a train in that regard, where some teams are going to be very good on it. Some teams are going to want to stay as far away from it as they possibly can. And it is the second least played map for Detonate. The one that they played less is Ancient. And considering the fact that the only win for Detonate was Snakesden and was a contested 16-12, it's not a map you could really expect them to have the best performance on, especially against a team that plays Vertigo quite a bit, like Ironblood does. And this is a map Ironblood's willing to play ATK on, MIBR on. They like this map. They like to play it. They feel a little more comfortable on it.
I'm having some question marks now. You said these two maps, the last two maps in this pool, are the maps they played the least. They've had over a month to work on their map pool as a solid 5. Or about a month, I would say.
Yes.
They've had no games, etc. So I have to think there is a spanner thrown in the works there. It might not be on Vertigo, sure.
Might be Ancient.
Might be Ancient. That's what I'm saying. That's what's making me interested here. Because there's no way that they banned some of the maps they play more. So,
yeah.
I'm interested to see if they have anything planned further here on Vertigo, which doesn't seem to be the case. Or more importantly, if they have something planned on Ancient. It does feel like, at this point, the window of opportunity on Vertigo is very quickly closing, especially with that kill onto Freshie over towards middle, the first casualty in the round at Nate. Can they pull this round back at least? Round number 9. Time is beginning to become a factor, but Ironblood, they seem more than content to just bide their time and play at their own pace.
Two for one, going back the way of Ironblood, making it 3 for 1 as SnaV will chime in. 3 kills from 3 separate players. And only one left standing is Brett. And not for long. Shane finds him, rings his bell. 7-2 in the favor of Ironblood. And they continue to just storm away with this T-sided half. And this is their weaker side on this map as well. Another timeout forced out of Detonate. This one might be one to forget. It almost seems like one of those sets in tennis, Nate, where it's kind of you just, all right, just let this one go, get it out of your mind, and go for the third and final. Because while the first might have been a close one, this is shaping up to be a very quick and easy victory for Ironblood.
Does seem like it. Detonate. Their money's all over the place. They have some players who are quite low, but Florence had 7K in the bank. Almost 8K. So, with the money all over as it is, it seems like they're going to go for an interesting half investment. Florence and Cryptic, I think they're just Florence saving a good amount of money in the bank to be able to buy an op in the following. But it is an astute buy, all things considered. Micro, he's the one who's been hot for this CT side. He's going to get dropped an M4. And everybody else is going to buy pistols and Kevlar. No kit. But on Vertigo, where there are some close angles, some claustrophobic angles, these pistols can definitely hit them. 3 Eagles, a 5.7, and of course that M4 I mentioned.
Lots of damage there, SnaV taken, but it's a 1-for-1 trade that kicks it all off in the favor of Ironblood, as trades do favor the T's. But the damage that Detonate have managed to do against the T side is no small factor. SnaV down to 40, into 55. Brett goes over top. Nice Deagle shots onto Dare down bottom stairs. And player advantage for the CT side, but only momentarily. Intra only getting 1 out of that push is huge. And Detonate looking to win another half fight here. They won a big one on Inferno. This could be a momentum swinger. Give them a little bit more room to work with out of the CT side, trying to work onto their stronger side of the attack of the T side. Ironblood have not even recovered the bomb. They're just walking up, clearing out. Ooh, Brett does damage onto Droid, and that's worth more than the damage he's taken. The nades do not connect. And issues are rising for Ironblood. They do not need to commit towards B either. They have a lot of time to work with. And they're going to boost somebody half wall. They're going to boost up SnaV. And around the corner is Freshie for both. He'll drop down, grab an AK, toss it up. Good team play from Detonate. And another round for the CT side. The problem being, if they cannot string something together here, it's a moot point.
They have at least a little bit of economy left in the bank. Everybody except for Florence, who invests into the op. And everybody else across the board, 5.3K for Freshie. He'll be able to drop his teammate. So, you know, it's not over yet. Again, it is, at this point, improbable, just given how many rounds Ironblood have at this point on the T side. Always open to welcome surprises, and that's one such surprise. Brett, he's had a very quiet first half. He's just secured his third, though, and that's a critical opening. He drops Shane, the heaviest hitter, the top frag of the T side, and He gets away to boot. Down middle wants to be the equalizer, but no, Freshie wins his duel as well. Detonator finally waking up here. Freshie as well. He's continuing to hold the angle. Yet another for the CT player, and Dare on the op can't do anything. Freshie shutting them all down, and that leaves just Intra alone on A, and even Florence is beginning to wake up here. The op in hand, he'll find the final frag, and Detonate 2 in a row, and a convincing round victory as well. All 5 players surviving. This is a recoverable first half.
It is a recoverable first half, particularly considering the fact that Detonate are more strong on their T side of things, but this is weak side versus weak side right now. So it's going into strong side versus strong side after this. Detonate, they still need a lot more than just 4. They need a consistent, I would say they need to get 7 at a bare minimum out of this half. There's a lot more that needs to be shown. Florence going to take a shot out of that. He gets lucky, the Molotov extinguishes. Takes a little bit of tag damage. Now lets one go with the op, but he has to fall back. Detonate, though, starting to come a little more alive. Better late than never. But is the lead a bit insurmountable right now? It always scares me when I see teams throw the bomb off the elevator, even though I know it's going to pop back up. It's just one of those things. I guess it brings back memories to back when you could throw the bomb outside of pretty much every map and playing matchmaking and getting people who throw, you know.
The memories. The scars.
The scars, yeah. Not pleasant memories, that.
Looking to leave a mark on their opponents. 1 for 1 thus far. Trade. Freshie caught out in the open. Does lots of damage, but doesn't secure the kill. Micro mentioned he has been the star thus far on the CT side of Vertigo. Can he be the star yet again? Flashed in. He'll look for 1. He'll find it. Not the trade, though. Intra very quick with it in response. And now Florence on the op. On the back of site has a lot to do. 30 seconds left. Smoked off of one of the angles. This is a very precarious spot. It's a 1 and done. Have to find 1 and run as fast as he can. He misses. Well, it's a different story. Nice shot onto 1. Picking up, can't find the second, though. Nevertheless, a winnable situation. The newest member of the squad, Brett, left in the clutch. 1v2. Has to be stopped, but no. Snav, a fadeaway shot behind the sandbags, finds the final nail in the coffin, and the op is recovered to boot. Ironblood recover. They shut down the 2-round wins for Detonate. And they do guarantee themselves an advantage going into the second. Detonate, though, I mentioned they built up a pretty penny on the CT side. They will dip into the coffers, and they will go for the reinvestment. Op for Florence, 4 M4s surrounding it, 2 of them being A4s, important to note. But Ironblood, they looked calm and confident on this T side thus far.
They have looked a lot better than they did on Inferno. More like what we expected to see coming into this matchup. This is the Ironblood that we know. Cryptic, 1 from the sandbags. Florence strikes the op towards yellow. And maybe a yellow light for Ironblood to pump the brakes a little bit. Debate whether or not they want to commit towards this A site. They have a lot of time to work with. They don't have to go here, but Ironblood, they don't like to fake. They just like to go where they have already decided they're going to go. So they're going to go forward for this A take, looking for a little more damage. Florence, or rather Micro, watching for the side hall push. Shoulder saw, and Molotov to make sure nobody pushes up their side. Florence still over towards jump, though, in a very precarious spot. Cryptic in the open, mowed down by Snav. Now Micro getting forced away. Florence retreating in from middle. That pick, though, gives a lot more room for Ironblood to work with, a lot more space for them to exploit. And no flank has been initiated from Detonate. That's something that Ironblood won't have to worry about. And Ironblood, they keep on moving, they keep on rolling. But Micro's held the line. That's a big find.
The advantage further towards the team. Saber and Florence through these. Smoke finds another. Just Dare on top. 1v4. Jumping up, he won't even get the first. Freshie up top. Boosted by the opera. Florence finds the final nail in the coffin. And Detonate finally beginning to become themselves. But again, the setups are still worrying. Detonate, I can respect the call. I can respect the confidence in their own setups and strategy. But that setup specifically with Cryptic in that off angle, he swings off the contact towards the side hall. It has been picked apart time and time again. It might be time to change things up here.
Only a couple more rounds to go. There was a time to make something happen, to change things up. It would be now. If they can get to 7, it would be a very solid result to a very slow start. The Dades raining through down the ramp have taken DARE down to 56, IBG.intra to 84. Nothing too significant, all things considered. Mid control being taken by Iron Blood here. They might get the first up. No, they're just going to go for the swing, and freshie holding the line at range. He's only got 1, though. And that's going to give a little more space over to Iron Blood, forcing rotations here. 3 players in abandonment of the A site from Detonate, all in towards middle now. If Iron Blood had players ramp, they could have made the fast play up towards A. Instead, though, they slow it down and start to work towards B stairs. Brett is holding. He hasn't had too much to do on this map. He's had a lot of retaking. He was the hero of B. But now, on Inferno, I should say. On Vertigo, his B site has been best left alone by Iron Blood for the most part. And he's kind of been out of the picture for a while. Let's see if he can heat back up, because if you've been anchoring and haven't seen anybody after a long time, it definitely does get a little bit hard to get your head back into the game.
It does. Iron Blood faking towards A, looking to go towards B. Mentioned Brett's here. He's holding the headshot angle. Expected one. Like to see if he can win the duel. The Molotov misses. A big opportunity. And IBG.intra entering in will be the one to win the duel instead. Brett's taken down, and they're just going to trust that there's nobody back inside. It has been cleared. 3 versus 4 retake. Make that a 3 versus 3 retake. Florence finds the kill. IBG.intra spotted close as well on 13 HP. Down here, no, he cannot. Micro finds that. Micro tags the second as well. Snav gets 1. Snav gets 2, and his teammates now here to support as well. He's bailed the team out in a big way. It's Cryptic. He's had a very difficult first half. Can he recover with the clutch? He spots the first. Stabs him, but does not bag him. He tries to swing desperately. Sure, he does the damage, but he does not net the kills. It's Iron Blood clapping back and looking to make it a monstrous lead at the end of this first half. 9-5, 10, a solid possibility as Detonate just desperately scrounge together a buy here. They have an A4, make that 3 A4s, excuse me, an A1S on Florence, and a Hamas on Freshie. No op to challenge the likes of DARE.
No op to challenge DARE. And no op to give a little more stability to the Detonate side. I would say 6 is a must-have for them on this map, though. Without it, they are going to struggle into half number 2. And without it, Ancient will probably come much sooner rather than later. Put so much more importance on the pistol round in half 2. Put so much more importance on every single round early. Oh, spot on the top of the head. DARE with a nice shot to the sandbags. Goes to the wall bang on the micro. Florence trying to reposition behind the sandbags, but he's in a very vulnerable position, as already evidenced. Micro too far overextended. IBG.intra cuts him down, and Florence into the wide open areas. He peeks, he's dead. Well, he peeked, he died. That's the round. Unless Freshie and Brett have an amazing 2v5, as the bomb's going to go down too. There's no utility for the CT side. This is looking like double digits for Iron Blood.
Out of the half, no reason not to try. No reason to punch either. Freshie spamming away is met in kind with the spray of bullets. Those ones far more accurate. Poignantly placed and droid on the flank. Final nail in the coffin. A solid start. 10-5 for Iron Blood. We'll see if they can keep the momentum in the second half.
Iron Blood were forged by the fires of Inferno. They have come back to a strong start on their T side of their own map pick of Vertigo. I'm Boggs, joined by Pineapple Phillips. This is ESL Challenger League Season 43 in North America. Map 2 of a potential 3. If Iron Blood win this, we do go to Ancient as our decider. If Detonate win it, well, they win the series. So, a lot of importance on this map for Iron Blood, a little less so for Detonate. Although it's always nicer to go for the clean sweep 2-0 victory than have to go to the third and final. But a win is a win nonetheless. And Iron Blood, they're up against it, but they've looked much stronger on this map of Vertigo. Bomb plant faked by Cryptic. I really don't like that.
For the nades. I think it's for the nades on the pistol round. Nice double nade as well into Snav. Down to 12 HP. It is retake simulator Vertigo after all. And flashes in, they're running now. I don't like this. A multitude of players right behind the smoke. Shut it down entirely. Florence, the last alive, puts up some resistance. Sure, he'll find a second, but that's all he'll find. Defuse comes through. Plenty of time. The 10-second defuse from Shane. And I would have said this pistol round was a must-win for Detonate if they had any aspirations on this second map. And with that one lost, the bomb planted, they might have some resistance to offer in the second round, but even then, scoreline just truly seems insurmountable at this stage.
Yeah, they surrender 11. It's a very difficult road from this point. Not winning the pistol round is incredibly hard for Detonate, and they don't even force. They don't even force into this one. They're going to give Iron Blood 12 before they get a buy up.
Hello, at 9. Deadly dropped. We'll find a second. The rifles are not recoverable. That's the important caveat. Snav pops things up, stems the bleeding. 2 kills is really all you could expect if you were Detonate. Maybe if they went towards the site instead, they could have gotten a bomb plant as well. That would have been the absolute best case. But it's not meant to be. It was a middle play from the pistols, just getting it over with as you'd expect. Detonate have rifles, full utility, AKs, what they could desire. They're facing up against a very similar buy, though, from Iron Blood. M4s across the board, good utility for the CT side. And Iron Blood, I mentioned this is a stronger side for them than the T side. I expect them to offer hefty amounts of resistance, especially with those A4.
This is the whole entire map in the hands of Detonate right now. They drop it, it's 14 to Iron Blood. 14 to 5 is basically unwinnable. Just remember what Taco said about 15-5. There's not much difference between 14-5 and 15-5. And the economic state that Detonate will find themselves in is not going to be even better. It's going to make it even worse. So, right now for Detonate, it's a must-win round. They need to win at least 5 in a row here and get to 10. And they've barely done a little bit of face showing. They've done a little bit of chip damage, and Iron Blood are starting to take a little aggression around the map. They're feeling more confident. Of course, they have the rounds to play with. So they're going to go a little more aggressive. Snav taking a much better info angle on towards middle. A seems to be the play from the T side, though, gathering up the ramp and starting to march their way up. Snav is on the flank. If nobody's watching, they will get caught. He drops down. He walks out. Nobody expecting the flank. And Intra just waiting to toss in the utility. Counter nades thrown by the CT side, or the T side rather. Bomb going down. Snav will pop though, and he will win the round.
He should here any moment, but he's being watched for freshie gets the spot. That's a big one to find. Can he get the kill? No. Florence will get the trade, but not before taking so much damage. He's tapped away by Droid on the jump up. Brett not the hero. He has to activate. He'll find one. Try to jump up above. No, he will not. Micro Cryptic do in response, though. It leaves DARE 1v2. He's found the first. He knows what it is. Will Cryptic fall away? No, he won't. Cryptic tries to take the duel, and that's foolhardy. That's too bullish of him. DARE exploits it. DARE exploits the oversight, the overconfidence, and takes the 13th as a result. Iron Blood looking to make quick work of map number 2.
They would love a quick finish here on map 2. Go into map number 3 with a lot of momentum. They had the decider between Nuke and Ancient. They decided to go to Ancient. They have a 1-5 record on both of those maps, but Ancient, slightly better result the nuke their win against 7 a.m. on Ancient instead of Task Force 141 on nuke. So I think that's why they want to go for the Ancient play in that scenario. They've called a timeout here. Detonate have. Not Ironblood. But Ironblood. They've looked so much more confident here on Vertigo. They've looked like themselves again. Inferno, it looked like they were replaced or they were in a stupor. They have been awakened. The fog has gone. But Ancient is another animal entirely.
It is. It's a map with a lot of coordination, a lot of utility. We talked about Ironblood being a team that relies heavily on their skill. We'll have to see if they have the stratagem behind them to back that up, because it will be most certainly required for that. Early duels towards the B stairs, though. More or less even damage exchange. Detonate, they emerge with the damage. Micro's on only 13 HP. Freshie, though, he's the real difference maker here. Swinging in towards the middle, he gets destroyed in transition, in an off angle, and that now secures a solid advantage for the T side of Detonate. 4 versus 2, Dare and Intra. Dare rotating over towards A, as is his teammate on the flank. This is still doable for Ironblood, albeit a little bit improbable. A lot of it rests on timely peaks and kills that go unanswered.
That's a big one from Dare. Bomb will still go down, but Intra on this flank. It's a 2v3, very winnable for Ironblood. The spot from Intra. The spray from Intra only yields 1. That's not enough on that flank, leaving a lot of work for Dare to do. He's got the kit. He's already opened his account with 1. He's got a smoke for the bomb as well. He'll bait the peaks out, but Floor with a nice edge shot. We'll get a 6 on the board for Detonate. We're not done just yet here on Vertigo. Detonate find a way to buy a little more time to give them a little more room. It's a +1 life. And actually, they should be able to get a second here, because Ironblood are going to either full force this round or half buy around these deagles. Now they're going to go all in for the most part. Dare will save for the op. Intra will save for a little extra utility from the looks of things. This is not a free round by any means for Detonate, but it's a round they should be favored to win. Keep the losses low. Keep the board decently clean. You're down by 6 at that point. It's going to take a lot, but it's still doable.
Build the economy, build the confidence, go from there. One round at a time. It's the only way to approach a deficit like this. And they should know that. Here. Is that a CZ chalice? Oh my goodness, you don't see that every day.
It is. A souvenir, by the way.
Yeah, it's definitely a souvenir. That's the drip you want to see.
Oh, yeah. It's a snack sticker, I think, too.
It is. Drip or drown. He's definitely dripping right now.
Which major is that? It looks like 2018 even?
Boston? Yeah. By the way, play comes in, and they run into a tricky situation. The MP9 ticks away 1. Brett will find the trade, and Droid is close to Ironblood rotating in. The pistols at close range could be deadly indeed. Micro finds the second. Stem the bleeding. Hold it down. Dare, though, to flank the CZ. A little bit a lot easier. Finding 1, finding 2, and now things are catching off as things have gone awry. Pressure on the flank has to bail him out. 1 and 2. But Dare on the flank. Does he dare do it? Lil in hand, a lot to do. Brett spotted. That's the information, though. Dare. Quickly closing. No kit, but the kill taken. Freshie now on top. Has it all to do. Caught in rotation. He'll still hit the spray. Takes lots of damage, but wins the round nonetheless. Detonate should not have been that close.
No, it shouldn't. And that's why they call a timeout here, Nate. They know that round was a little too sketchy, a little too scary. So they are going to call another tactical timeout. Reset mentally. Get ready to roll. It's going to be a pretty much full eco from Ironblood this round. Dare saving for the op. That's why he has 4,300. Got a lot of work done, Dare, that last round, though. He almost had, I was believing that he was going to pull that off in the 1v2. I thought he was going to do it. He's been so good on this map, but he was countered well. Brett with the micro peaks, and then Freshie with the mop-up. Freshie's been very good for Detonate here on map number 2. That's one thing for sure. Brett hasn't had too much. He was a bit walled out of the game for that first half because nobody really went B for the most part. Freshie had a lot of work to do over on A, micro as well. Those two doing the brunt of the fragging Florence with a couple of big kills, a couple of clutches too, but Now it's time for everybody on Detonate to step up because they need 6 in a row to tie things up. It's a long road, and once the bye comes back for Iron Blood, it's going to get even more difficult again. It's not going to be as easy as it was against the Deagles and the Armor or against the Pistols here. And that's not saying that the last round was easy. It was a little too messy for that Detonate squad.
Definitely a little too risky there with 4 players falling. Should have an easier time, though, this time around. It's an even smaller investment. A CZ, a P250. Nothing else. No Kevlar. No real utility. Detonate. They need to play their game. Need to get control. Need to slowly parse apart the situation. Need to realize this is a stack towards A. Though, as I say it is quickly coming back around. Looks like Detonate have made the right decision to go towards the Shane, though. Catches the player out in the middle. Freshie boosted up, finds 1, finds 2. Spots the 3rd as well, but he doesn't want to give his life away. Gonna fall back, stem the bleeding. That is the smart call here. Actually, Florence will delay the plant to instead flash to his teammate. Freshie trying to get away. 1 to 3rd, a 4th. He does find that as well. Just dare. Does he dare to try? No reason not to. I'm gonna make that pun as many times as possible. It's too free. It's too free.
How dare you?
Oh my goodness. It's become meta now too. CZ in the middle.
Oh.
Does drop the lip player. Nice shot. CZ does not shine at that range, but does. The player's tagged down low. Brett finds the kill, but hey, a second was the best they could really hope for. Ironblood can't be mad with that outcome, and they still have a sizable lead as well. They now go into the investment. Op for Dare. M4s across the board, 3 of them being A4s as well. They should hopefully invest into a kit as well. That should be Intra buying that up. Oh, goes for utility. I don't think there's a kit on the CD side.
There's not. Issue
Interesting.
perhaps. Very interesting. I am a bit concerned for Iron Blood here if the bomb goes down, but then again, I feel like they've done a good enough job when it comes down to it to not really have to worry too much. Well, we'll have to see if the explosion can work for the T side now, as they've used a lot of utility just to get the ramp control, and they haven't been able to really explode anywhere on the map.
Only 1 smoke left.
That's very risky territory. They have a couple of Molotovs, but they're going to have to make everything count. Snav gets tagged down a little bit, but that 1 smoke is all they have to work with. It's only 17 seconds. There's a lot of time left on the clock, and the op is not warded. The Molotov comes in late. Micro with 1, forced another. What a no-scope from there. I don't know how Freshie can get that kill. Force trade, and Cryptic sprays down towards the wall. Bomb goes down. Shane bails out. Never mind. Shane actually might be committing to this. A 1v3 with no kit. No utility either, but he's looking for the damage, and he's found the first. This now becomes winnable for Shane, but time is of the essence. If you can grab the op and save, it would probably be fine for Iron Blood. But they have a couple of rounds to play with, and there's no way. No way. And he gets taken down by Micro. Gets a bit of damage into Cryptic, but it's not enough. The op not recovered either for Detonate. But they're finding a way to stay alive. They're living to the BGs, Nate.
Doesn't look like they wanted it either. They could have easily bought it. Florence had 8K in the bank. He'll go for the AK instead. Drops it. Not sure why he did that. We'll recover it. Nothing crazy going on there. Iron Blood.
Shuffle.
No. Shuffle the AKs, maybe shuffle the skins, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I want this skin, actually.
Probably the wrong priorities in a game like this, with a score like this, but Iron Blood, their hefty investment in the round prior was rebuked. Detonate. Again, keep rounds close, build up an economy, build up the confidence, and go from there. 2 kills that go and answer to 3rd for Freshie in middle. 2 remaining, Snav and Intra, not to be trifled with. They have Deagles, they have Kevlar, they could quickly hit a 1 dig. That's one such 1 dig. Snav makes it a reality with that one. Everything. Brett finds 1, Brett finds a 2nd. Easy spray down for him. A quick mop up as expected. With only 1 loss, that was a round that Detonate could be happy with. The bomb plant at the tail end as well. They are making it plausible. He said 10 was where it could really become a possibility, and they have secured that. Iron Blood, though. Another crack at bat. AK. Not AK, excuse me. AUG for Droid. Op for Dare. 3 M4 surrounding. The kits as well being invested. That's a notable caveat for both Snav and Shane. So we do have a pause call, likely to discuss things here. I had to guess it's from Iron Blood, but I don't have the information open. I'm not too sure on that front.
Half a moment. Iron Blood timeout, indeed.
Expected, I would say. I think Detonate are finding their confidence, finding their stride, building their economy. No reason to slow things down. Iron Blood, on the other side, do need to figure something out. They are now beginning to feel the pressure here.
They are feeling the pressure. And it is their stronger side, which is the interesting thing. It's the strong side versus the strong side now. The first half was weak side versus weak side. It's strong side versus strong side, and Detonator's starting to claw their way back forward with the guns. Brett's starting to have a little more impact. Micro and Freshie are doing a lot of work. Florence as well has been stable throughout the course of this game. And more B pressure coming in from Detonate. One thing they do that Iron Blood don't is default around a lot more, get a lot more early map control. And I think that helps Detonate when the going does start to get tough on their T sides. They have a lot more information of how the CTs like to play. So their reads can be a little more quick, a little less second guessy. Brett spotted out one backside. He's just going to dash on forward. Gets flashed in, running around, spots the player behind the pillar. Combines with Cryptic for the first. Around green, Droid strikes for one, but he's caught by Brett for the trade. Bomb will go down. Brett will steal himself out. Molotov through, and he'll dash forward across the smoke and dodge the spray from, I believe that was Snav. Dare has the IBG.intra on the M4. No real chance for a retake here, though, for Iron Blood. It's a save call indeed, and it kind of has to be given their economic situation. They would have probably gone for it a couple of rounds ago, but now the round score is becoming precarious, and Iron Blood from a comfortable scoreline. This was, what, a 13-5?
13-5, yep. Remarkable. I love Detonate's style here. Their kind of rigid setups on the CT side were quickly partially figured out. Their T side, more astute, I would say, more practiced. And it is far more novel as well. I love the pathing from Brett there to find the opening. Crossing around the side, letting the flash maroon the player behind that pillar, that girder on the site, and then finding the second on Droid as well. Sure, Droid did find a kill before falling away, but it doesn't matter. Brett does his job, gets the space, maintains the space as well by staying alive, and that is what's giving Detonate a second life here. Brett, who was, what, like 3 kills in the first half? Something abysmally low. Now at 14.
Mid-stack from Iron Blood. If there's no flash, this is surely not going to go well for Detonate here. They dry peek in. The M4 from IBG knocks down 2. That's 2 big picks coming in from the M4A4. And a big round for Iron Blood to hold if they can. Dare taking out Brett helps that one over towards B stairs. Cryptic and Florence, the last 2 standing, heading up the ramp. There's only one player really here, that is Snav, but this round has turned on its head very quickly, and there's a problem, Nate, when you don't use utility to peek an angle. Defending players have the advantage, and it's a heavy advantage.
That's what the main call would be, to do some economic damage. Get a kill or 2, ideally, to really make money tight on this CT side. Slinking forward, doesn't have a bomb on his back either. He's just making space, hoping to find a kill with the utility. Florence is the one lining up all the actual utility of substance. Florence will find a parting gift. There, the kill, and there finds the second. A clean round, relatively speaking. Only one player falling for Iron Blood, and they're inching ever closer. Their lead, it's not sizable anymore, but they are 2 away from taking their own map pick.
And that's all that matters right now, is winning their own map pick. They need to hold the line. They need to go to Ancient, and it looks like we have a missing player? Okay, there we are. I was a bit scared for a second.
The mark is undefined, but it is a known quantity on the Detonate side. He's already gone. Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming it was Brett that disconnected and reconnected. The undefined player's gone from the map, but
yeah.
Very interesting to start the round. Not sure what was happening, but either way, Iron Blood. Yeah, what is going on? We've had quite a few of those moments. throughout. Florence up in hand, wants to challenge the likes of Dare. But Detonate already with the man disadvantage and with the utility situation only. They do have 3 smoke. That is more than enough, but. And they actually take the side net. Throws his utility in response. Tries to cross out, but he's actually caught by the nade stack. Well played from Detonate. As they tie things back up, they have to get that bomb plant. That is the trickiest thing to negotiate on Vertigo. They find it. Freshie as well drops Droid and somehow Detonate claw their way back into it. 3 versus 4. The Option Dare has a lot to do.
It's got so much to do, and Florence is on the other side of the sandbag. It's going to be a bit of a whack-a-mole scenario for the 2 hoppers. Florence being the mole and Dare trying to be the one whacking the mole, but it's going to be a save call from Iron Blood. They don't have an economy built up, so they are going to cut their losses here. And it's going to get Detonate back to within 2. 14-12. Detonate have clawed things back tooth and nail, quite literally taking it 1 round at a time. This was a 13-5 scoreline. It is now 14-12. That is 7 of 8 rounds for Detonate. And they have a little more momentum to work with. That was a round they lost the first pick, and they still managed to find a way back in. Iron Blood are letting things slip. They did call a timeout a couple of rounds ago. If they lose this next one, it is timeout territory again. And given their economic situation, Nate, they could be up against a 14-all scoreline with no money.
Massive comeback, to say the least. Trying to put it into words. Detonate. Again, looks rigid. Plastic, shallow on their CT side. Their T side has been anything but far more structured than they were prior. This is where they really begin to come into their own here on Vertigo. Red dancing delicately on the smokes. Nades, the utility from Detonate has been on point perfect. Micro finds the kill on the Shane over towards the top of B stairs, and nothing but praise can be said for Detonate. It was on Inferno incredibly good on their CT side, and it's good now here on Vertigo.
On their T side of all things.
I don't think I've actually seen that nade thrown before.
That was 2 nade kills in a... That's 2 rounds in a row. Micro's got a nade kill, isn't it?
Yeah, he got the one on the jump up.
Yeah.
That was how they opened up last round after they lost the opening duel.
Micro really starting to get a lot of work done with those pieces of utility, the HEs. And Detonate are starting to work towards B a little bit more. They did get the opening pick that a ways. Dare is here with a big green gun, but there's no real stall utility for the Opper. Just a flashbang in hand. Intra has the Molotov and the flashbang. The full utility complement coming over from Detonate. The rotations are here. Droid goes 1 for 1. Cryptic and Freshie all falling down. It's a 3v2 in the favor of Iron Blood. The Op's still here as well. They have to find a way around it. Or Snav's rifle. They have to get around both. And it's all down to the rifle now. Lawrence misses the second shot. And Iron Blood find a way to get to map point. It was not clean, it was messy, but a round is a round, and at this stage of the game, it is incredibly impactful. The buy from Detonate is not going to be the best. A Mac 10 for Micro, AKs in about half the complement of utility they want on the Detonate side. And Iron Blood have bought themselves another chance for a map 3. It's not been clean from Iron Blood, though, a playoff team from the last season. They're over towards the A ramp now, moving around the top. That's going to be information for Intra, and Cryptic goes 100-0 in the flames. That is huge.
But he can't catch a break, truly. 8 kills, he's been bullied time and time. Holding around the smoke, does find Dare, catches him looking. Nice one-way close side haul. Yes, they will. Micro spams them away, and again, it's a round where the opening was won by Iron Blood, but Detonate find a way back into it. 4 versus 3. Press over towards A. They'll run down Snav. A nice one there. Just Droid and Shane. Try and pick up the pieces. Iron Blood loses round. Their economy's kind of in a very tipsy-turvy situation. Micro finds Shane running through, and that leaves just Droid pushing through. Spots planting player kill, and Micro's covering all their bases studiously. It's a detonate. They aren't going to go down without a fight. 13-15 as they try to fight desperately for overtime on map number 2. They still need 2 more. Ironblood, they're on the cusp of cobbling together a buy. Do they go for it, or do they go for the half buy and play for round 30?
You gotta half. You gotta half. You cannot go all in here. It's not a viable choice to go all in. You have to half. You have to half, I should say. And that's exactly what they're going to do here. They're going to go in on the half fight. And Snav goes forward, gets sprayed down by Cryptic first. That's a good confidence builder for Cryptic. And now Detonate just have to realize that they're up against some pistols and the lighter buy, so they got to be careful not to get run over by a stack droid. I do that all the time too. Don't feel bad about that. I always forget you can't jump up that little angle, even though you should be able to. I don't think you can.
I think that was, honestly, I always said KZ moment. Hit the servers, buddy.
Well, droid can't do it. I can't do it. I'm in good company.
It's easy. Good timing, but do they realize it's a fake? They must. No one there to trade. That is a rifle that could be saved. Sure, they realize now, but stay free. Bomb site open for the taking. Plant will go down. Ironblood, I'd say, do as much damage as possible. They have to know the economy's in a bad spot for Detonate. Press in even with that AK and try to do as much damage as possible. That is a game here. 1 for 1. I can get another, sure, but 2 kills. A third would be ideal. It would be optimal, I would say, and that's exactly she. Droid finds that. It's actually doable at this point with Cryptic as low as he is. Freshie on the Galil, sprays away, finds 1, but the trade could come through. Droid finds 1, swing for the second, can't quite find it. He almost does, though. Freshie holds his nerve, finds the kill, and brings us to round 30, but Ironblood made that so incredibly expensive.
They made that expensive, but at the same time, the money's not really that big of a factor for Detonate. They can get the full buy up. They can get their utility for the most part. Everybody has all they need. And Detonate have brought this to a full 30-round scoreline. 13-5 was the scoreline at one point in favor of Ironblood. This is 1 round away from going to overtime. Detonate have done a marvelous job of bringing this back. They've used their timeouts well. They've taken it 1 round at a time. And look how little utility Ironblood have. 1 Molotov, 4 smokes, 2 flashes. Make that 3 smokes. That is nothing. There's 1 minute and 27 seconds to go in this round, and they have no stall utility, no flashbangs, no retake utility. 1 minute, 20 seconds, they've used all but 2 of their smokes.
Duels, and they could send us to overtime. And from there, I'd say they're favored. They're going to be on the T side again. T side's been their favorite side. Massive implications from this round, but as you can tell, both teams are feeling the pressure. They're not wanting to be the ones to give away the opening. Ironblood mentioned they're known for their aggressive and assertive style. They're being anything but here. Dare does have his classic weapon, though. Yop, the big green in hand. He's dropped 30 already. Could be the hero in this round that his team needs. Micro slings up the ramp, as does the squad. Detonate. It's going to be an A play. 2 players here, one of them being that op I mentioned before, but can they stave off this take? That's the question. Can the rotations come in quickly enough? Dare, the smoke can't find anything, but Intra can do the smoke. A little bit of luck is what's required. It does find the opening. And get to be attempted as well. Droid to the smoke finds a second and Detonate. They might just be rebuked here. Complete rotation. All 5 players present from Ironblood. Intra jumping through, stops the plant, and 8 seconds left. This doesn't seem possible. It looks like Ironblood have done it. It takes all 30, but they do get it done. 16-14. Massive, massive attempt from Detonate. Props to them, but it is not enough in the end.
So close yet so far from Detonate. 1 round they needed, and they had everything going right in terms of the utility battle. Of course, they don't know that. We saw all the cards lining up for Detonate there, but they couldn't get it across the line. They were unable to find that 15th round to bring them to overtime.